Hi everyone, my name is Ruby. Welcome to our group presentation with Daisy, Hannah, and Giselle on how to tackle childhood obesity. Our presentation will be divided into 5 parts. Firstly, I will give a general overview of the current situation of childhood obesity in the world today. According to the United Nations Children's Fund, nearly 40 million children under the age of 5 are overweight, equal to nearly 6% of the age group. At the same time, obesity leads to a risk of disease. The impact rate is 19.7%, affecting around 40.7 million children. We can see the graph on the right. Children aged 2 to 90 years all have a rate of over 10% due to obesity. The economic cost is also very high. According to a study, the lifetime cost of obesity is $90,000 per children. The annual cost of medical taxation is up to $70 million. Martin has said that the ability to deal constructively with competing ideas by creatively resolving the tensions between them results in a new idea that has the best of both sides. To better use integrative thinking, we have applied the following 4 stages to solve the problem of childhood obesity. Alright, let's move on to Daisy to show stage 1.
Thanks, Ruby, for the stage 1. First of all, we defined why childhood obesity is important. There are several reasons. First, childhood obesity will affect the physical and mental health of children. Childhood obesity will not only affect the development of children and lead to many chronic complications and chronic diseases, but also may have negative impact on children's mental health. Second, childhood obesity will cause some economic impact. Usually, a family needs to spend a lot of money to treat childhood obesity. In addition, the increase of childhood obesity will bring some burden to the medical system. Thirdly, childhood obesity will also have some negative social effect. For example, obese children may receive discrimination and exclusion in society or school, which will affect their normal social interaction and lead to psychological problems. Based on the above survey, we propose 2 opposite models, which are Model 1, family responsibilities, Model 2, social responsibilities. Model 1 means that parents are not affected by any external factors and only take responsibility for children's obesity. For example, providing healthy diet, mental support, and exercise planning. Model 2 means that it is not affected by any family's responsibilities and only depends on the school, community, government, public service advertising. For example, community and advertising campaigns to raise awareness of the dangers of childhood obesity, government restrictions on the production of high-calorie food and calls for a healthy diet. Then we'll look at what benefits they bring to both models from different players. For Model 1, the government can encourage families to eat a balanced diet and have regular health checkups and provide subsidies for healthy food for low-income families. For Model 2, the government can first limit the production of high-calorie food, then encourage schools to carry out regular physical activities and make reasonable meal plans. And finally, establish and enforce strict laws and regulations on food advertising. For Model 1, customers need to improve the concept of healthy diet, have a certain understanding and attention to the harm of childhood obesity, reduce the purchase of high-calorie food, and advocate a balanced diet structure. For Model 2, customers can participate in school, community sport activities, healthy knowledge promotion lectures. For Model 1, food manufacturers and retailers can provide clear ingredient ratios and nutrient content lists in package design, making it easy for families to identify and choose when buying, and promote promotional activities such as discounts on healthy food for families. For Model 2, food manufacturers and retailers can formulate low-calorie food formulations like low-fat, low-carbohydrate, low-sugar, and so on to produce and advertise healthier foods and carry out and promote marketing activities for healthy food. For Model 1, innovators can develop apps that include a variety of reduced fat meal recipes to make it easier for parents to prepare healthy meals for their children. For Model 2, innovators can develop new technologies and tools to encourage children to exercise, such as children's gym, children's sport equipment, and so on. Next, Ruby will introduce Stage 2.
Well, let's start stage 2. Firstly, let's learn about the similarities and difference between the two models. Similarities are that they both have the same goals to reduce the childhood obesity and thus make a difference to children's life and learning for the better. The difference is that for Model 1, the lifestyle of children with obesity depends to a large extent on their parents' education and supervision. Also, the policy tends to favor family management and thus improve families' education as well as diet. For Model 2, it depends more on children's self-control. At the same time, policy tends to regulate the children's food markets and to strengthen the regulation of public policy and the improvement of social lives. Now let's move on to the next page. The most valuable aspect of Model 1 is that it addresses the root cause of problems, with a balanced daily diet and physical activity. In addition, with study shows that family lifestyle accounts for 11.3% of weight change in children aged 7 years. The model focuses on the influencing and changing children's perceptions and behaviors towards healthy eating, thus shaping healthier lifestyle habits. Now explore the parts of the model that we really need to focus on. For Model 1, it's costly in terms of time for parents to supervise and control their children's diet intake at all times. Parents' knowledge of healthy eating and obesity is comprehensive. It's difficult to produce healthy and appealing food for children. For Model 2, children has enough control, but the social environment can influence children's eating and exercise behavior. In addition, the development of the app, CRESS Gym, is costly, and its appeal is unknown. Next, my team member Hannah will share the stage 3.
Yes, just like Ruby said, these two models have their own pros and cons, which require us to use integrated thinking to explore more possibilities in stage 3. The first pathway is hidden gem. We need to combine the valuable elements from each opposing model to create new answers for these questions and ensure that the elements will not conflict with each other. The second pathway is double down. It focuses on the causal relationship between models and identifies the best one which contains the key values, and using the new answers generated by this causal model to extend the values we care about the most. The third pathway is decomposition. It is different from the first two concepts. We help each model to work as a whole and to be able to apply different parts of the problem separately. As a result, these problems will be broken down into different parts, and hopefully, this discrete part will be compromised by this new opposing model. There is evidence that policy and environmental intervention strategy are highly effective in addressing childhood obesity in society. For reference, the sugar reduction plan announced by the UK government in 2016 led to a 20% reduction in the sugar content of the foods that children consume the most, and it indeed significantly reduced the childhood obesity rate. To further support our hypothesis, we collected valid research results which indicated that potential policy areas for implementing such a strategy could leap forward from the food environment to broader social and household environmental policy dimensions. Therefore, the third pathway is our certification, optimize children's healthy eating habits, and implement interventions such as restrictions and incentives for the manufacture in children's food materials. It is an effective measure for the government to intervene in manufacturers to issue healthy policy on children's food, which combines compulsion and incentive. On the other hand, parents have more options for healthy food for their children. So, combining these 2 points, we set up a core hypothesis for this pathway. Detailed laws will be drawn up to limit the ingredients in children's food, as you can see on the slide, which Giselle will further prove whether this model is feasible.
Thanks, Hannah. I'm going to talk about the stage 4. Step 1. The government can encourage the citizen to eat healthily from all aspects. It can promote healthy eating on social media. For the customers, both parents and children need to learn to raise awareness of healthy eating and take action now to integrate healthy eating into their lives. Step 2. Survey is the most widely used and convenient form in today's society. We need to create a survey according to the current problem and send the survey to the families with children on the internet through email. We initially prepared a survey and sent it to 1,000 families in China and Australia. We found that 100% of the families were willing to practice the healthy diet. According to the statistic, the opposite rate of Chinese children has reached 18% since 2020. So now more and more families are willing to try healthy eating to change the problem. Step 3. The next most important thing is to test each of these possibilities. First of all, we should investigate the calorie intake of the daily diet of children in each family. Only by control the calorie intake can we change their eating habits and reduce the problem of child obesity. The Victoria government has campaigned for a healthy diet and promote the growing and selling the organic food. On social view, we can start with food manufacture at schools. Firstly, we should investigate the content of food actives that children like on the market at present. The issue regulation to food manufacture to reduce the addition of unhealthy sugars and fats in food. At the same time, the time and intensity of daily physical activity of children in school were investigated to assess whether they meet the standard of health. Japan has one of the lowest rates of child obesity in the world. Studies have shown that Japanese school lunches are rich in variety of nutrition and are suitable for children's growth. In addition, the schools arrogant significant time for children to exercise every day. In the end, we came up with solutions from both government and customers' perspective. Parents should learn more knowledge about the healthy diet, refuse high-calorie food, and provide children with 3 balanced meals a day with healthy recipes. Children actively participate in school and community health lectures to improve their awareness of healthy eating. The education department has formulated a regulation to assist schools in formulating and implementing daily exercise plan. The relevant department helps schools invite nutrition and athletes to conduct fun information activity for children. Next, Hannah will give us the conclusion.
So, the conclusion is that through the publication of this policy, the parents could limit their children's intake of high-calorie foods and create a healthy and balanced diet for them. The society have intervened on the sugar and fat content of children's food, which shows their responsibility to promote a healthy trend. There is our reference list. Thanks for listening.